Hosanna, blessed be the rock, blessed be the rock of my salvation. Hosanna, blessed be the rock. Blessed be the rock of my salvation. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Morning, everyone. How is everybody doing today? Well, today we are going to continue with the reading. It is actually Wednesday. We have missed out a few days, but we ain't gonna be worried about that. That is going to happen sometimes, based on the unpredictable events that occur in my life, your life, our lives. So we are not worried about it. But today we are here again, as we always are, with the reading, with the reading of the Bible. Welcome, Sister Winsome. Sister Winsome, welcome. Good morning, my love. How are you doing? Good to see you. As always, it's my absolute pleasure. Oh, why did I cook so much food? Oh, my friend's mom passed away, and so she had asked me to make some food for her because there was they have the gathering over there, so I had to make all that food and drive it all the way over there. So that was why I was off from Bible study. Yeah, but it's all done. I cook it, I carry it. I ain't got none left in the house. Yeah, and I'm leaving it in the house so that I can eat it and then complain about what it's doing to my body. So, oh my gosh. So, Sister Winsome, how are you doing? Good to see you. Guys, get your book Bible or your Google Bible and roll on in. We are going to be reading the book of Hosea. I believe when we last read the Bible, we read up until Hosea chapter 9, and Saturday we were supposed to read, I think, 10 and 11, or 10, and then Sunday we were supposed to read 11 or something like that. Or whatever the case was supposed to be, it wasn't. All right. Yes, I want me to Jamaica food because of that me can't cook. Of that me cook. If them me want Jamaica food, them just not eat it. Yeah, them love curry chicken. You know Americans love curry chicken. Them love curry chicken. Them love mac and cheese. But I have to make the mac and cheese my way. Yeah. Most of them not so familiar with rice and peas, but as long as the food cook good, man, then we eat it. Them no worry. Yeah, yeah. It's all right. They'll handle it. Yes, Sister Winsome. So this morning now, since we have a little bit of, not that we have a little bit of time, it's after 4:30 actually, but we have about hour and a half. We are going to be reading Hosea chapters 10, 11, and 12. So that by the time 6:30 comes around and I have to get up and get cracking, otherwise I would have completed that and then we'll complete the rest. We have only 2 chapters, 4 chapters left, 2, 13 and 14. We'll finish that in the next few days. Okay? All right. So with that being said, we are we are going to move right along into the reading. Want to say welcome to everybody who's in the chat. Thank you all so much for coming in the chat. I sincerely appreciate those of you who have taken the time out to come into the Bible reading each morning. Now you all know that when we gather here each morning to read the Bible, I do not endorse any particular religion or denomination. I come here trying to come as an empty slate. That's a little bit hard to do because I was born and raised in the church. So as much as I try to come empty, as though I'm empty, as though I knew nothing or have never learned anything or been taught anything, I should say, from the Bible, it is a little bit hard to do because I do have my fundamental religious education that has been given to me from birth. And so at this juncture in my life, it's hard to just abandon what you have been taught. But I'm trying to enter into this reading of the Bible with an open mind, a mind so open that I am willing to appreciate what is actually in the Bible versus what I was told is in the Bible. If you all get what I'm saying. All right. So I want to say good morning to everybody before we get on with it. Good morning to everybody. But Venetia, Marcia, Patrick, everybody who has come into the chat, Sister Winsome, and everybody else who has come into the chat, I want to say good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming. Do not forget that when you come here, I am not a religious zealot. I am not a theologian. I am not, teaching you what is in the Bible. Okay? I am telling you what's in there. Okay? You need to follow along with me and let us talk about it together because remember, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just reading it and trying to understand it since it was given to me. Don't tell me that I need to pray for understanding because you yourself claim to have been praying forever for understanding and you still not understand the Bible. Do not tell me that the Bible, not everybody can read the Bible and understand it, because if I was given this book, just like I would have been given a textbook at school, if I was given this book to read and understand it and follow it, then it should be in such a fashion that I understand what I'm reading. If you give me a book that you do not expect me to understand, how do you expect me to follow it? Does that make sense? Do not tell me that I need to endorse a particular religion or a particular denomination. I do not need to endorse any religion or denomination to read the Bible. The Bible was given to me as my moral compass for me to read it and for me to follow it. I have decided to start reading it, but I have decided to read it aloud so that those of you who do not care to read it because it's too big, it's too long, the word them too fine, it's too confusing and all of this, will be able to hear it being read. And you will have the option to follow along. All right? So with all that being said, we are on the book of Hosea. We have read we have read all the way from Genesis, guys. And now, John Walker, bless up yourself. My crazy adventure, blessings to you. Sam Kish, hello. I'm trying to acknowledge the people who walk in the chat, but if I miss you, it's not on purpose. Kish, bless up yourself. Good morning, guys. Blessings to you. Thank you all so much for coming in, for stopping by. Okay, so go ahead, get your book Bible or your Google Bible, whichever one you have. and join with me as we read the book of Hosea. And remember, guys, if there is anything that I may have said based on my interpretation that might, you know, have some ambiguity to it, or if you have another interpretation, you're free to say it in the chat. I bark, but I don't bite. Say it in the chat and let me know, what your understanding was. We can either agree to disagree, or, you know, I could consider your interpretation. My interpretation and yours may not align, but that is what this is all about. All right? I'm just a host reading. You are the listeners. And oftentimes I don't hear myself. So I appreciate if you all, if anybody is in the chat. Like I had Carlton in the chat the other day, and his contributions were really paramount in the conversation about what we were reading about Daniel and all of that. So I really do appreciate people's contribution. I don't people like to come in and be rude. If you're rude, I'm gonna block you. Okay? Because some people like to come onto your live, and rather than just use one of their crooked fingers and scroll along and go and mind their business, if they don't like what you're saying or whatever, they don't want to hear you questioning the Bible. They don't want to hear you asking any. They want to tell you you're gonna hell. You are Eden. You are atheist. You are this. You are that. People, cut it out. Cut out the foolishness. Because when you all do that, you all really behave like the people in the Bible, who got no tolerance of people who don't believe what they believe. And I don't understand how you people claim to be advocating for your God, but you're advocating for your God means that you gotta insult somebody, you gotta put somebody down, you gotta. The Bible. Well, I understand. The Bible, so far as I've been reading, has been loaded with blood, insults, cruelty, hatred, and all. But you don't have to bring it all to me. You don't have to bring it to me. I'm already reading about it. So please. But anywho, I think I've blubbed enough. So we are going to move right along into the reading. Sister Winsome. Good morning, Sister Winsome. Watch out, them a see me. Me don't want to no see me. Sister Winsome, we are going to move right along into the reading of the Bible. Well, on there. No, sir. I'm not in the mood right now. I can't escape from them. And if them not... Alright. Jesus. Lisa Warner is here. Wait. I gotta do something. Well, on the people, because let me take this out of the tripod and put it. Okay. Alright. Don't see me. That's okay. Alright, so we are moving on to Hosea. Because everything I fall down, people. Hosea chapter 10. Hosea chapter 10 says, Israel is an empty vine. He bringeth forth fruit unto himself, According to the multitude of his fruit, he hath increased the altars. According to the goodness of his land, they have made godly images. Goodly images, I should say. Their heart is divided. Now shall they be found faulty. He shall break down their altars. He shall spoil their images. For now they shall say, we have no king, because we feared not the Lord. What then should a king do to us? You see, them even start questioning now whether or not they need a king, whether or not the presence of a king will benefit them. They have spoken words, swearing falsely in making a covenant. Thus judgment springs up as hemlock in the furrows of the field. The inhabitants of Samaria shall fare because of the calves of Bethaven. For the people thereof shall mourn over it, and the priests thereof that rejoiced on it, for the glory thereof, because it is departed from it. Verse 6, we are on to the book of Hosea, chapter 10. And here we see there is continuing distress amongst the children of Israel. They are still in captivity. They are worried, they're concerned. Is their God going to deliver them? And how are they going to regain custody of their lands? Now remember, the people who have displaced them and taken them captive have also taken possession of their land. So if you displace me, you take me captive, you bring me into your country, and you take possession of my country. It's like I don't have anything anymore, right? So here the Jewish people are asking, how is God going to come to deliver them, and how they're going to get back their land? Because do you think the people who have taken them captives and captured their land, do you think they're going to hand it over without a fight? No, they're not. If you all remember when we read in First Kings, I'm going to mention chapter 22. In First Kings, in Black Karen, bless up in nice clean self. Bless up in nice clean self. What I say? Joe, what's up? Joseph, me make your coffee already. Where you there? You need to come drink it. Yeah, you need to come drink it. Good morning, my love, my darling Putos. How you doing? Good to see you. Black Current say is not Jewish alone. What you mean? Like, what you mean? Talk to me. What you mean, Black Current? Is not them alone have to fight for their land? Where you tell me say? Jamaicans too? I'm just asking. Jamaicans too have to fight for their land? I'm always hearing Jamaicans fighting over land. Fighting over land. I'm fighting over land where them never buy. I fight over land where them never buy. Them granny did buy it, or them grandfather. But them want it. You'll be right here. Alright, Joseph. The door open. Okay? Yes, guys. So we are going to continue with the reading. I was saying to you that in First Kings chapter 22, when King Ahaz of Israel And King Jehoshaphat of Judah had that conversation when Jehoshaphat come down until Ahaz. Um, Remember, Seramoth Gilead belongs to us. You know, go fight the Syrians for it because our foreparents they left it to us. It was ours, and them come and them capture it. It belongs to Israel. We need to go up there, go fight them for it. At 3 long years now, we not have no war with them, so we need to go up there, go fight them, and take back our land. And remember that we have seen that all throughout the Bible. This dispossessing people of land and repossessing it through bloodshed, back and forth, back and forth. We have been seeing it. And it not stop. And Sister Winsome, even until this day, people still fighting and dispossessing each other of land. And honestly, why there is so much emotions when it comes to the possession of land, because as I said, land represents wealth, it represents power, it represents authority, you know. So when you have a little piece of land, you have something, right, Karina? You have something. So that explains why people get so emotional when them want one piece of land, when them have piece of land, when somebody try to take with them piece of land, that kind of thing. All things, what are all things tax? How are you doing? Good morning. So it was no different in the Bible that the children of Israel were so, they had lost their passion actually for their land because it had been taken from them, and they were left wanting, they were left with nowhere to go, they were left without a prayer really, because everybody first they started to give away their land after they had captured all that land. Because remember, when they left Egypt, they didn't have anything. They traveled and traveled and traveled. But when they got across the River Jordan, they said God gave them all this land. And boy, did they get land. Boy, did they capture land. But the funny thing about it, guys, except for a few little swats of land that nobody wanted to claim because it was mountainous or rocky, most of the land that they captured was already occupied. Yeah, most of the land that they captured was already occupied. When they got there, there were people living there. There were people who already who had already set up their communities there. And what did they do? Them slay the people, them take the land, then God said the land belongs to them. So they take it. And by so doing, they had built this massive dynasty down there, owning a lot of land, owning a lot of our pillars. Pillar, what's up? How you doing? Good morning to you. You know, owning a lot of land, and because they had come out of slavery in Egypt, a lot of people didn't want to embrace them. They didn't want to embrace them, and then they came in with such fury. They came in with such fury. Remember, the Bible said the others were afraid of them because there were so many. When they heard that they were coming, the people them start tremble because they must say when the people hear that they were coming, the people always talk about how there were so many of them. The people were frightful because remember, they numbered in the hundreds of thousands. And when they came to take over somewhere, they took it over. They slew everybody, and it was all in the name of their God. Now, after the kingdom was divided, thanks to Rehoboam and Jeroboam, after the kingdom was divided, you started to see the dwindling of the massive estate state that was established by David. Because every time they went to fight, they you notice the Syrians at one point, the Syrian king and David were very good friends. And every time there would be a battle, they would exchange gifts. And the Syrians always wanted a piece of land in exchange for sending up their army to help fight some other group that was coming to fight with the Jews. And so as time went on, they end up not have nothing. But the little bit that they had when they were taken into captivity, Nebuchadnezzar took it. Remember, he took over Israel. And then the Jews were down there in captivity. All their religious, their what they call it, them church, then tabernacle, their sanctuary, whatever they call it, their temple was destroyed. Remember, Nebuchadnezzar had taken all their golden vessels and golden markers and swords and everything he had taken and brought them down to Israel, down to Babylon, forgive me, and brought them down to Babylon. Remember when he had the celebration? Travis Green, best of yourself, Cassandra, Perfect Storm. Remember when he had the celebration? The Bible said they were drinking from the golden vessels that they had taken from Israel. That was when the writing came on the wall that said, he kill a person. So the Jewish people, they have given as much as they have gotten. In my view, based on what I have read in the Bible, they have given as much as they have gotten. And if you think the wars are going to end, think again. I doubt it. I think it is going to they are going to continue to be a fighting nation, fighting with just about everybody around them. But let me continue reading, Carlene. I'm just reading the Bible here. If you don't have any objections, remember, I know my word is the Bible. Okay? So I'm gonna take it up with a pastor. Sister Winsome say every month somebody dead over land. And that is so true, Winsome. Every month people fight over land because land is so important. Represents wealth, represents power, will give you authority. But let us continue, gentle people. The inhabitants of Samaria shall fear because of the cause of Bethaven, for the people thereof shall mourn over it, and the priests thereof that rejoiced on it, for the glory thereof, because it is departed from it. It shall be also carried unto Assyria for a present to King Jareb. Ephraim shall receive shame, and Israel shall be ashamed of his own counsel. As for Samaria, her king is cut off as the foam upon the water. The high places also of Avon. The sin of Israel shall be destroyed. The thorn and the thistle shall come up on their altars. The sin of Israel shall be destroyed. So while the thorns and the thistles shall come upon their altars, and they shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. Then that does sound like their sin destroyed. You lovely people? That sounds like some kind of punishment. Let's read it again. It says, the high places also of Aven, that's Aven, the sin of Israel shall be destroyed. Okay, okay, now I get it. The high places of heaven is considered the sin of Israel, shall be destroyed. The thorn and the thistle shall come up on their altars. Okay. The high places also of Aven, the sin of Israel. I am at Hosea chapter 10 and verse 8. The high places also of Aven, that is Aven, not heaven, but Aven, the sin of Israel. So Aven is considered the sin of Israel. So it's saying, Aven shall be destroyed, the thorn and the thistle shall come up on their altars, and they shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. O Israel, thou hast sinned from the days of Gibeah. There they stood. The battle in Gibeah against the children of iniquity did not overtake them. Verse 10. It is in my desire that I should chastise them, and the people shall be gathered against them, when they shall bind themselves in their two forests. And Ephraim is as an ephah that is taught, and loves to tread out the corn. But I passed over upon her fair neck. I will make Ephraim to ride, Judah shall plow, and Jacob shall break his clods. Verse 12. Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your folly ground, for it is time to seek the Lord, till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in thy way, in the multitude of thy mighty men. Therefore shall a tumult arise among thy people, and all thy fortresses shall be spoiled, as Shalman spoiled Beth Arbel in the day of battle. The mother was dashed in pieces upon her children. So shall Bethel do unto you, because of your great wickedness. In a morning shall the king of Israel utterly be cut off. Priceless, bless up yourself. Good morning, guys. Sammy, Lisa, and everybody else in the chat. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I sincerely appreciate you all. Rose Etienne, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We are reading the book of Hosea. We are going to move right on into chapter 11. So if you have your book Bible or your Google Bible, you are welcome to follow along with us, okay? Hosea chapter 11. When Israel was a child, now we don't understand what the Bible means when it says when Israel was a child, right? Well, when Israel was a young nation. When Israel was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt. As they called them, so they went from them. They sacrificed unto Baalim and burnt incense to graven images. I taught Ephraim also to go, taking them by their arms, but they knew not that I healed them. I drew them with cords of a man, with bands of love, and I was to them as they that take off the yoke on their jaws, and I laid meat unto them. He shall not return into the land of Egypt, but the Assyrian shall be his king, because they refused to return. Verse 6. And the sword shall abide on his cities, and shall consume his branches, and devour them, because of their own counsels. And my people are bent to backsliding from me. Though they called them to the Most High, none at all would exalt him. How shall I give them up, Ephraim? How shall I deliver thee, Israel? How shall I make thee an Admah as Admah? How shall I set thee as Zeboim? My heart is turned within me, my repentings are kindled together. I will not execute the fierceness of mine anger. I will not return. I will not return to destroy Ephraim. For I am God, and not man, the Holy One in the midst of thee, and I will not enter into the city. They shall walk after the Lord. He shall roar like a lion. When he shall roar, then the children shall tremble from the west. They shall tremble as a bird out of Egypt, and as a dove out of the land of Assyria. And I will place them in their houses, saith the Lord. Verse 12. Ephraim compasseth me about with lies, and the house of Israel with deceit. But Judah yet rules with God, and is faithful with the saints. Trust no one. I like that. I like that. Trust no one. Welcome into the live. I appreciate you. Gangster Granny. All right, Gangster Granny. Gangster Granny is a staple here. Okay. Pillar, what's up? Let us continue to read. We're going to move on to Hosea chapter 12. The book of Hosea is not too long, it has only 14 chapters. And the chapters are short. But welcome Gangster Granny. We always seem to be meeting up in these talking streets, and I appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Hosea chapter 12. I'm not to unpack yet, guys, on this reading here. But we are going to continue. Chapter 12. Ephraim feedeth on wind, and follows after the east wind. He daily increases lies and desolation. And they do take a covenant with the Assyrians, and all is carried into Egypt. The Lord hath also a controversy with Judah, and will punish Jacob according to his ways, according to his doings will he recompense him. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with God. Yea, he had power over the angel and prevailed. He wept and made supplication unto him. He found him in Bethel, and there he spoke with him. Now, y'all remember, head of my time. I like that. Blessings, head of my time. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome into the life. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, for the roses, thank you so much. Win some, I get roses over here, my God. Hey, Valentine's come early. Valentine's come early for my sister Winsome. Yeah. So guys, here I am. The Bible oftentimes mention Jacob. Oh, Jacob. You are so welcome, head of my time. You are so welcome, my love. You know the Bible always mention the fight between Jacob and his brother. And I always wondered, how comes Jacob deceived his brother, but Jacob was the one who got the blessing? And I ever wonder about that? Me wonder, like, how comes? You would think that the person who committed the sin against his brother would be the one who was snubbed by the Holy One. But not so. Just like how when Cain slew his brother Abel, and Cain was cursed and cast out, Cain had to leave the Garden of Eden. He had to go out through the gate and go away from the garden. He could no longer reap the benefits of living in the garden. It's like William and Harry. It's like Harry having to leave the royal palace. Harry never did nothing wrong, No, don't get me wrong. You understand? But you have to leave your princely appointments and go someplace else. So I don't understand how comes Jacob end up getting the blessings when Jacob was the one who wronged his brother. Or maybe it is the way that they have presented it to us in the Bible. I don't know. Because was that meant to happen? I bet it was. So I guess the outcome was predetermined as to what would happen between Jacob and his brother Esau. But let us continue reading. We are on, for those of you who are just coming, we are on the book of Hosea. And if you don't understand what we do here, we gather here each morning to read the Bible. We are on a quest to read it from beginning to end and try to understand it for ourselves. We are now on the book of Hosea. So we are way over 3/4. We are way past 3/4 of the Bible. We have maybe a year's worth left. When some of you just finished Hosea this morning because I just 2 chapters I go leave. People in the chat don't tell me if I do that. Since the chapter them short and Hosea short. I might, Sister Winsome, I might take you up on that, my sister. I might take you up with that. Let us continue. I might do that, Winsome. Let us continue, guys. We are on to Hosea chapter 12, verse 2. The Lord hath also a controversy with Judah, and will punish Jacob according to his ways, according to his doings will he recompense him. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with God. Yea, he had power over the angel, and prevailed. He wept, and made supplication unto him. He found him in Bethel, and there he spake with us. Even the Lord God of hosts, the Lord in his memorial. Therefore, turn thou to thy God, keep mercy and judgment, and wait on thy God continually. He is a merchant. The balances of deceit are in his hand. He loves to oppress. And Ephraim said, Yet I am become rich. I have found me out substance. In all my labors they shall find none iniquity in me that were sin. And I that am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles, as in the days of the solemn feasts. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Is there iniquity in Gilead? Surely they are vanity. They sacrifice bullocks in Gilgal. Yea, their altars are as heaps in the furrows of the fields. And Jacob fled into the country of Syria, and Israel served for a wife. And for a wife he kept sheep. And by a prophet the Lord brought Israel out of Egypt, and by a prophet was he preserved. Okay. Verse 14. Ephraim provoked him to anger most bitterly. Therefore shall he leave his blood upon him, and his reproach shall his Lord return unto him. That is the end of Hosea chapter 12. Oh, wake up, the didn't wake up yet. So last night I was so exhausted. When somebody see how I got my bed early. My Jesus, I was so exhausted last night, man. OMG. But now I have slept, I'm wake up, well rested and ready. Sister Winsome, I need to finish reading Hosea because we only have chapters 13 and 14 left. So guys, we're gonna do that. Right, Winsome, tomorrow you want to start the book of Joel. Yeah man, and I remember said the night before Winsome, Monday night. Remember say Monday, me stay up till 12 o'clock prepping the food. I cut up chicken and season up and all these things. And then yesterday morning, me get up early and started the cooking. Cook, drive go all the way. And my friend lives like around, I'm going to say about 20 miles from me. Yeah, about 20 miles. Yeah. So I drove over there to go give her the food. And I couldn't just drop off the food and run back. So I spent a little bit of time with her, That's her mom. So we console a little bit and chat a little bit, Oh, Winsome say if me get paid. Well, Cynthia, well, just to be honest with you, that's my friend. Yeah, that's my friend. That's just it. Yeah. She just came back for the food. I'm going to give her the time. No big deal. That's just me. That's just me. And that's that. But anywho, beautiful people in the chat, We are gonna continue. That winter me have to call that just my contribution to her sorrows. You know what I mean? Yeah, I couldn't did buy the food and do it. If I could I would. But you know, we did it. We did it. Let us move right along, Lati Mystic. Bless up your nice clean self. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Thank you so much for coming into the live. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you who have come into the live. Yes, guys, for those of you who are just coming, we are here. We are on a quest to read the Bible for ourselves from beginning to end, and that is what we are doing here. We gather here each morning um, on the same accord to read and understand the good book. Sometimes we don't understand it, but we're still reading. Okay? Now we are on to the book of Hosea. Hosea chapter 13. When sometimes we gotta read 13 and 14 since they are so short. So we have to just comply. You know, Sister Winsome is the boss. Hosea chapter 13. When Ephraim spake trembling, he exalted himself in Israel. But when he offended in Baal, he died. All right, make we read that again. When Ephraim spake trembling, he exalted himself in Israel. But when he offended in Baal, he died. And now they sin more and more and more, and have made them molten images of their silver and idols according to their own understanding. All of it, the work of the craftsmen. They say of them, let the men that sacrifice kiss the calves. Therefore, they shall be as the morning cloud, and as the early dew that passeth away, as the chaff that is driven with the whirlwind out of the floor, and as the smoke out of the chimney. Yet I am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt, and thou shalt know no God but me, for there is no Savior beside me. Hold on. Hold on. Hosea is saying that God said these things to him. Hey, people in the chat, you are welcome to respond. Is this Hosea saying that God tell him these things? Hey, watch me, husband, roll up in the place. I see you, you see me, we see each other. Good morning, my love. How are you doing? Good to see you. Happy Wednesday morning to you. I saw be Valentine's Day, you know. I saw be Valentine's Day. But just to remind you. Anybody else here that it remind their spouse that it's be Valentine's Day? You don't have to remind your spouse that it's be Valentine's Day. You better consider yourself so you don't have no spouse. I am doing good, my love. I am awake. I'm getting this part of my day knocked out. And then I'm going to get some other parts of my day knocked out as well. Please don't forget. Don't forget. It's coming close to Valentine's Day. Alright? Me know say Wally Rose is about the place. There are a whole lot of roses lying around on these streets. Okay? Yeah. Me not too bad. I can't get a rose, man. Good God. Hey. Hey. But anyway, make us continue with the reading of the Bible. Yes, Overton, bless up your nice clean self. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. All right, Winsome, we are going to continue. We are on to Hosea chapter 13. Hosea chapter 13 and verse 4. Yet I am the Lord thy God for the land from the land of Egypt, and thou shalt know no God but me, for there is no Savior beside me. I did know there in the wilderness, in the land of great drought, according to their pasture, so were they filled. They were filled, and their heart was exalted. Therefore have they forgotten me. Therefore I will be unto them as a lion, as a leopard by the way will I observe them. I will meet them as a bear that is bereaved of her whelps, and will rend the call of their hearts. And there will I, and when I read the word call, okay, Overton, I understand. I understand. The call of their heart, it is not CALL. Is that the call? Ooh, hello? No, it's not the call. It is the call. CAUL. The covering of the heart. Okay? And will rend the call of their hearts, and there will I devour them like a lion. The wild beast shall tear them. O Israel, thou hast destroyed thyself, but in me is thine help. I will be thy king. Where is any other that may save thee in all thy cities, and thy judges, of whom thou saidst, give me a king and princes? I gave thee a king in mine anger, and took him away in my wrath. Almighty God. We can't find the consequence here. I gave thee a king in my anger, and took him away in my wrath. Which king was that? Or which king was that, Winsome? He said he gave them a king in his anger, and took him away in his wrath. Jesus. But what takes me so early? The iniquity of Ephraim is bound up. I'm going to have to figure out which king that he gave in his wrath, because they all seem terribly angry to me. So I don't know. You all can mull on that for the rest of the day. Verse 11, I gave thee a king in mine anger, and took him away in my wrath. The iniquity of Ephraim is bound up. His sin is hidden. The sorrows of a travailing woman shall come upon him. And you know a travailing woman is a woman in labor, right? He is an unwise son, for he should not stay long in the place of the breaking forth of children. I will ransom them from the power of the grave. I will redeem them from death. O death, I will be thy place. O grave, I will be thy destruction. Repentance shall be hid from mine eyes. Though he be fruitful amongst his brethren, an east wind shall come. The wind of the Lord shall come up from the wilderness, and his spring shall become dry, and his fountain shall be dried up. He shall spoil the treasure of all pleasant vessels. Samaria shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her God. They shall fall by the sword. Their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women with children shall be ripped up. Mighty God. This is Samaria they're talking, you know. Oh, Lord. Remember, Samaria was part of Israel. Now, that was where King Ahaz. If y'all remember when we read about King Ahaz, the King Ahaz was from Samaria, and when he had died up there in when he had died in Syria, they brought him back to Samaria to bury him. Remember, he was the one who had gone up to Syria with the king of Judah, Jehoshaphat, to go fight for Ramoth Gilead. And when they got there, the Syrian king said to his 32 captains, he said, "Do not fight anybody unless it is the king of Israel. That's the only person I want you all to fight and defeat is the king of Israel." And as Jehoshaphat and Ahaz were going up, King Ahaz told Jehoshaphat to put on his kingly robe and disguise himself in the kingly robe, pretending to be him. And when they went up to Syria to go fight for Ramoth Gilead, the the men saw the person in the chariot wearing the kingly robe, and they thought this has got to be King Ahaz. So they drew their bow and arrows, ready to shoot him with the bow and arrow. And when Jehoshaphat saw it, he bawled out, "Oi, oi, oi! A me man, please. Hold on, a me." So they did not shoot their bow and arrows, but there was one man among them who still shot his bow and arrow, though the others had refrained from shooting. And when that person shot the bow, the arrow hit Ahaz, who was disguised. He did not wear his kingly robe to prove that he was the king of Israel. And the arrow that the man shot struck him beneath the seam, between the seam of his armor, and he bled out and died on the floor of the chariot. And they took him back to Samaria, washed out the chariot, and buried him there. Now, here in the Bible, here are all these things that they say they're going to do to the women and the children. We are going to read it again. We're going to read verse Hosea chapter 13 and verse 11 to 16. "I gave thee a king in mine anger, and took him away in my wrath. The iniquity of Ephraim is bound up, his sin is hid. The sorrows of a travailing woman shall come upon him. He is an unwise son, for he should not stay long in the place of the breaking forth of children. I will ransom them from the power of the grave. I will redeem them from death. O death, I will be thy plagues. O grave, I will be thy destruction. Repentance shall be hidden from mine eyes. Though he be fruitful among his brethren, an east wind shall come. The wind of the Lord shall come up from the wilderness, and his spring shall become dry, and his fountain shall be dried up. He shall spoil the treasure of all pleasant vessels. Samaria shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her God. They shall fall by the sword. Their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women with child shall be ripped up." Mighty God. What utter destruction. And according to the Bible, it speaks of God in the first person, that this is what their God is willing to do. You see how they present dear God, with such anger and such fury, with such a penchant for destruction. It I don't know about you, but it does. Makes me scared. It makes me have a lot of questions like, why would a God? I understand that if 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 you are a God and you give the people follow you instructions and they disobey, that I understand that you may punish them. But don't you all find that these punishments seem over the top, fierce, and brutal? Or is it just me? Do you all find it that way, or is it just me? Because to rip up the women with children, that means the women who are pregnant. And to ensure that the people fall by the sword, that their babies are dashed to pieces. Oh, this sounds terrible. Ooh. Verse 14, chapter 14, we are moving on to. Let's move on to chapter 14, and this is actually the last chapter in the book of Hosea. O Israel, return unto the Lord thy God, for thou hast fallen by thine iniquity. Take with your words, and turn to the Lord. Say unto him, take away all iniquity, and receive us graciously. So will we render the calves of our lips. A shore shall not save us. We will not ride upon horses, neither will we say any more to the word of our hands, ye are our gods. For in thee the fatherless finds mercy. I will heal their backsliding. I will love them freely, for mine anger is turned away from him. I will be as the dew unto Israel. He shall grow as the lily, and cast forth his roots as Lebanon. His branches shall spread, and his beauty shall be as the olive tree, and his smell as Lebanon. They that dwell under his shadow shall return. They shall revive as the corn, and grow as the vine. The scent thereof shall be as the wine of Lebanon. Ephraim shall say, what have I to do any more with idols? I have heard him and observed him. I am like a green fir tree. From me is thy fruit found. Verse 9. Who is wise? And he shall understand these things. Prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them, but the transgressors shall fall in them. Here ends the reading of Hosea chapter 14. And that brings us to the end of the book of Hosea. There isn't too much that I have to say about the book of Hosea, to be honest with you. I might have to take another look at the book of Hosea to be able to feel comfortable in assessing and analyzing its content. Nikki Lamb, bless up yourself. Earl Grant, how you doing? Good to see you. So that's where we are going to end the reading for this morning. I want to say thanks to everybody who has come into the live. Those of you who have liked the live, those of you, and just for being here. I mean, just the fact that you are here means more to me than anything else. So I sincerely appreciate you all. All right. That's where we are going to end the reading for this morning, guys. When we come back tomorrow, we will be reading Joel chapter 1. Yeah, with some, I might do the reading later tomorrow morning. I don't know. I don't like to read the Bible later. Later just to feel right, especially after I come off of work. I feel tired. You understand? Hey, Carrie Ann Brown, how you doing? Yeah. So I might come off of work until maybe 8 o'clock. That time sometimes seems so late, but we will see. It all depends because I don't like to read the Bible when I'm not, alert. I want to read it so I can understand what I'm reading. I don't want to be reading if I'm falling asleep. So when we come tomorrow morning, we might just read one chapter. All right? But whatever it is that happens, we will be here tomorrow morning, guys. All right? Once again, thanks to everybody who came into the live. That's where we are going to end it for this morning. Until next time, my friends, this is Trev from Trev, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, guys, and I will see you all later. Hello? Why are you calling me so early in the morning? What happened? Of course, of course I'm online. So you call me 5:30 in the morning to find out what again? Hmm? Then that's gonna wait till 8 o'clock. Is that serious? Ah, boy. You know, so you're kind of disrespectful, though. Yeah, man, you're disrespectful. It's 5:37. You see me on live. You know, see me on live. And you call me for me come off of my live and entertain you and talk to you. You couldn't wait till me come off of the live. You call me while I'm on the live. Do me a favor. Goodbye. The conversation just end. Goodbye. Because me end my life think you call me for something sensible. You call me for foolishness.